Alright, now here we are. Talking sports. Talk and sports. We're going to be talking both of them, alright? Today's topic is Carmelo Anthony and his tenure with the Houston Rockets.
Short tenure.
Is Carmelo done with basketball? Let's see. I'm going to open up the floor to him though.
I mean, what you want to know? Let's start there. You want to know why Carmelo didn't fit in with the Rockets? You want to know why we're blackballing him? What you want to know?
I want to know why Carmelo is a scapegoat for y'all losing.
First off, Carmelo's not a scapegoat. All right, he just didn't fit the mold of what we consider to be Houston Rocket basketball. In our offensive strategy, we have two ball dominant players, we have two defensive players, and then we have a big man. With Carmelo, he doesn't fit that ball dominant player, and he doesn't fit that defensive player. And obviously he's not a big man. So you have to figure out where he can fit. He doesn't want to come off the bench. Mentally, it just messes up his game.
But he's been coming off the bench all season.
I mean, he had a couple games where he started. He didn't come off the bench every game, due to injury, Chris Paul being injured and James Harden being injured. He started a couple games. But, based on our offensive scheme, he just didn't fit that mold. He wasn't a catch and shoot type player that we wanted him to be, that we told him he needed to be when we signed him. So
you think 10 games was enough to evaluate if Carmelo could be that player?
Honestly, personally, no. I don't think so. I was rooting for Melo. I was hoping he would do his thing because, I felt like we needed his offensive prowess in order to get over that hump. However, as I saw, along with the front office of the Houston Rockets, the part of our game that we needed him in, he just didn't fit. So basically, with our starters, we had our scorers, we had our defenders, and we have Clint Capella. With our bench, we had a scorer, we had two defenders, we had a big man. We just needed that defensive person. But we brought in Melo instead, which we thought could be that offensive threat to kind of counteract not having that defensive person. But he wasn't consistent enough. That's a better word to use. He wasn't consistent enough scoring. And based on what I heard from Mike D'Antoni, based on what I heard from, what's the GM's name? I can't even think about it right now. But from what I heard, he just didn't fit. And although we're not doing that well right now, we're we're still below 500. He's not a scapegoat. We're just not going to waste all season to try to figure out if he's going to fit that mold or not.
Because y'all at least had waited till All-Star break, you know what I'm saying?
But by that time, it would have been too late. So let's say we would have kept him in the rotation, right? And he would have been putting up his averaging 13 points a game, right? That's what he's about averaging right now, or what he was averaging. He could have kept putting up that 13 points a game, but defensively, he was giving up more than what he was producing. His numbers didn't look that great. He had a couple games where he was just looking spectacular, and I was like, all right, Melo, you're fitting it. But
10 games total.
10 games. I mean, he just gives up too much to try to say this is what we need. Now, for us, right, our GM, Daryl Morey, there he is. His whole mentality is we have to beat Golden State in order to be that team. Once you're giving up way more points than you're producing, you're not going to beat Golden State that way. Golden State can score. They got 3 dominant scorers.
It's true.
Right? We have 2. Right? So we brought in Carmelo. All right, we might not be that great defensively, but maybe he can score. But the 10 games that he was here, he didn't score. He only averaged 13 points. And that's not saying the games where he scored 2 points. That's not saying the games where he scored 24 points.
28.
He didn't score 20.
He scored
his
game,
total was
his
20.
Game high was 28.
His game high was 24.
Okay.
Anyway.
Right. Agree to disagree. All right, first thing I want to talk about. Agree to disagree. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you're right. The game against Brooklyn.
You don't have to tell me. I already know. But
game against Brooklyn, he did score
it's
20.
fine. It's all right. I'm a Carmelo fan. I understand that his highest scoring game this season was 28 points.
But that didn't go to state.
But anyway, out of 10 games, his average was 13 points.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I don't want to talk about the 10 games because, we both agreed that, yes, it was too short to evaluate. But I want to go into Mike D'Antoni. How many championships does Mike D'Antoni have? Okay, so you can evaluate Carmelo in 10 games and say that he's not the person for the team, but you're not evaluating D'Antoni. That's an issue right there.
How was that an issue when you can look at D'Antoni's resume and see what D'Antoni has done?
Yes,
D'Antoni's already been with the team.
He is the best at not winning shit.
Ooh,
that's what Mike D'Antoni is. He has no rings. Carmelo Anthony has more playoff appearances as a player than he does as a coach. Is that true? He has more playoff. Yes. And he has as a coach. Mike D'Antoni was the coach of the Knicks. So let's go back there. They didn't go to the playoffs at all. All right, so we'll just Mike D'Antoni.
Hold up.
No, they
Hold up.
Nobody watched the Knicks.
In 2007,
they went to the playoffs.
Mike D'Antoni was coach of the Knicks. They went 55-27. They were number 2.
Okay.
In the division.
Okay, you have all of his.
Yeah, all his coaching stats. I got it. I did what I had to do.
I'm glad you got the stats.
I'm sorry, that was for the Suns. I'm sorry, my beat. In 2010, 42-40, they were second in the division. They went to the playoffs.
They were second in the division, not the conference. All right,
No, I don't know what the whole conference was. We can look it up. That year prior, they were 29-53. You know what I'm saying?
How many total playoff appearances does Mike D'Antoni have as a head coach?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, so
7 in his 13 years of coaching, and this is year 13. So 7 out of 12. He's made it to the playoffs.
How many years was Carmelo in Denver Nuggets?
I got that number too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 years he was on Denver.
Carmelo's been to the playoffs more times.
I'm pretty sure they didn't go to the playoffs every single year.
Mike D'Antoni,
So Carmelo been to the playoffs in Denver ever since he was a rookie?
Since rookie year. Came out balling. And that's why I don't understand why people are hating on him. You gotta understand, Carmelo's been a star his whole entire career. Even when he was on the Knicks, he was a star. Last year he went to the Thunder. He had to conform. How does a star player conform to being a role player? I have to imagine, because I've never been in that situation, that it's hard. You go from being the number 1 option, holding the ball for a majority of the shot clock, to being, we may pass it to you on this possession, or we may not.
You know, I read an article Wednesday or Thursday morning on ESPN. It said Carmelo is the last great American ball hog.
I read that article also.
So it should tell you that it did tell you in that article that the way Carmelo plays, that's not the style of the NBA anymore.
It's not.
It's not. So you can't say, "Oh, I'm Carmelo Anthony, and this is how I play." And you're gonna go to an organization and bring your resume to this team and expect to still be a star, when we have a player who plays just like you, but he also shoots the 3. Or he can also, Carmelo, listen. Any team in the NBA has a player that can do not exactly what Carmelo does, but can, let's say, shoot mid-range. And that's talking about posting up. That's talking about coming down, shooting off the dribble. Every team has a player that can do that.
Oh, for real?
But name one that doesn't. Name one that don't.
We're gonna talk about
Phoenix.
No, we're gonna talk about the teams that he's been on. Let's talk about
Denver Nuggets.
No, we don't want to talk about the Denver. Okay, he was a star on there. He was a star-studded star. He went to the All-Star game every year. We're not talking about Denver. I don't even want to bring up the Knicks because that doesn't matter either. Carmelo went to the Knicks strictly for money. He already knew he wasn't winning anything, but he got that bag. Yeah, that was a mistake on his part.
Also, let that be known. Let's let this be known. When he was a free agent in 2013, Carmelo had an opportunity to come to Houston when we had nobody but James Harden. He was a free agent. What he decided to do. Don't try to hop on the bandwagon now. Once you see that, oh, they won 6 or 7 games. Oh, let's go. No, guy, we don't need you now. We don't need you now. We needed you when we didn't have help for James Harden.
Who wasn't at Houston when he decided not to go to Houston?
What you mean?
Why did he go to Houston in the first place? Because it wasn't just James Harden. It was because of his homeboy Chris Paul. So let's make that straight. That's why he went.
That can be.
That's why he went to Houston.
But the question is, when you had a better chance to succeed because you knew the Knicks weren't going anywhere. They weren't going anywhere your first few years with them.
Yeah.
They didn't go anywhere with you after them. I mean, you made number 2 in the East, but whatever, it's the East. Why stay with the Knicks when you see there's not a future with them? You see that there's no way you can win a championship with the Knicks. And at this time, in 2013, Golden State wasn't Golden State. So you could have came to Houston, brought your power, your skill set to Houston to play with James Harden, and eventually we got Dwight Howard, and you could have done something.
First of all, Carmelo said this himself. The only other team that he was going to go to, that he really wanted to go to, was Chicago Bulls, of course.
Oh yeah, let's go to another team that's not going anywhere.
The Chicago Bulls, when Derrick Rose was MVP, Derrick Rose, before he got hurt the second time.
In 2013?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Derrick Rose when he's at the top of his game. That's what we're going to talk about. That's the team that he was going to go to. But he chose the money, man. He knew exactly what he was doing when he chose the money. He chose the money over the championship. So
that's
why he's in his prediction right now.
This is what you're pretty much saying to me. Carmelo had chances to join other teams where they had star power, where he could have helped. But he chose to stay in New York to be the star, to be by himself, to get that money and produce nothing. That's pretty much what you're telling me, because he didn't do anything in New York. He can't do nothing. He didn't do nothing credible in New York.
I will not debate that. He didn't do anything but rest.
James Harden was in Houston by himself, leading his team to second in the Western Conference. In the Western Conference.
That's fine.
Carmelo eventually led his team to second in the Eastern Conference. And that's probably what, 6th, 7th in the West if you had to compare records. Yeah. That's not impressive. That's like, what are you playing basketball for? You playing for the money? You playing just to show everybody that you can score? Cool, Carmelo, we know you can score. But LeBron got a championship.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade got a championship. Darko Milicic got a championship.
This is true.
Chris Bosh got a championship. But where's Carmelo? Carmelo playing for the money.
Yep.
Carmelo trying to play to keep his name up.
Yep.
What is that going to do for you in the long run? You're just going to be Charles Barkley. You're going to be Karl Malone. The best player to never get a championship in your era. That's not impressive to me. Then you're going to come to a team and feel like, oh, well, maybe I can help here. Oh, maybe I can do this. Oh, but the team don't really want to let me play. No, that don't fly.
Okay.
Look, man, Carmelo, I was rooting for you. I was going to get a jersey for you to add to my Houston Rocket collection, but you didn't pan out, man. You didn't play well enough. You didn't fit that mold of Houston Rocket basketball.
Oh,
so you're not trying to blackball him.
Yes, that's exactly what you're doing, because what you just said is that Carmelo only plays offense. That's what you said?
Am I lying?
No, you're not lying at all. But I mean, it's funny coming from you with the jersey that you have on right now.
You talking about Fear the Beard?
Yes,
Real King James?
It's funny coming from you, considering the jersey that you have on, because you all paid a guy $250 million who doesn't even try to play defense. $250 million is how much y'all paying a guy who doesn't even try to play defense.
That's not true.
He is taking up probably over 50% of y'all salary cap, and he only plays one side of the ball. And y'all talking about obviously y'all not built to win a championship if y'all paying a guy 50% over y'all salary cap who only plays one side of the court, and then he leads in scoring. Yes, cool, he does, but he also leads in turnovers.
Whoa!
So
he was second in turnovers.
He leads
behind Russell Westbrook.
He leads the league right now in points and turnovers, and this dude does not play defense. So you giving the guy $250 million who only plays one side of the court.
Now,
and on that side of the court, you can take away half his points because he gives the ball up.
No,
more than anybody else in the league.
Bullshit.
That's
bullshit.
Real shit. And y'all talking about winning the championship? That's not championship basketball. So you give Carmelo Anthony 10 games, but you don't go and restructure James Harden contract because he obviously needs his contract restructured.
How you gonna restructure the MVP? First off, let me tell you, this is where you getting it all messed up. Mm-hmm. James Harden is averaging 29 points a game. Mm-hmm.
He's averaging 30 point something right now.
No, right now it's 29.6.
Okay, it's 30.
Carmelo is averaging 13. But he's giving up. You think James Harden is giving up more than 30 points a game? No.
No, he's giving up about 16 points a game.
Okay, that's half.
Yeah, exactly.
That's half.
And you're giving him $250,000 to give up half of the points, and he doesn't even try to play defense.
Is he worth it?
No, he's not worth $250 million.
Stop it.
No, he's not worth $250 million.
Steph?
Y'all are not going to win no championship.
So is Steph.
Is Steph worth
$250 million?
Every single dime.
Who can Steph stop?
Steph can't stop. I'm not gonna say Steph can stop anybody because they are professional players. It's hard to stop any top professional player because
stop somebody.
Yes,
but it's a crime with James Harden though.
Oh, it is a crime with James Harden because anybody can go and look. Just go look at James Harden defensive highlights. This guy doesn't even try. He doesn't even try to play defense.
Listen,
he olays him to Clint Capella, and Clint Capella don't get paid even close to what James Harden does, but put all the defensive pressure on him. I'm just gonna go down the court and try to score. Clint Capella has to play offense and defense. Why can't James Harden? He's getting paid $250 million. Why can't James Harden try on defense?
First off, he only get paid like $170 million.
No, his contract is $228 million. That's how much his contract was. $250 million. $250 million is how much you plan paying a player to only play one side of the game. Please, y'all not playing to win a championship. Obviously,
how will we not?
Your coach is D'Antoni. Like I said before, he's the best at never winning shit. He doesn't play. He don't even care about defense. All y'all focus on is analytics. Analytics isn't gonna get you.
Analytics is what's winning basketball games, right? Look at the Spurs. The Spurs do not play by analytics. They play beautiful basketball.
Yes, they do.
And you know what Greg Popovich is doing? He complaining about how much teams are shooting 3 points.
Yep, I read the article.
Because those teams are playing by analytics.
I read the article today. Okay. And who's the team who's been winning the championships?
Golden State.
It's not because of analytics. It's because they have the best team that's ever been assembled in basketball. Yeah, in my opinion, that's the best team that's ever been assembled in basketball. They have a whole starting lineup of all-star players. The whole starting lineup of all-star players.
They can take their whole team to the Olympics.
So analytics isn't what's winning right now. It's the Golden State Warriors because they have the most souped-up team.
Before Kevin Durant got there, they were winning by analytics. They were shooting more threes than Steph Curry himself was shooting more threes than every other team in the league.
And you think
that's analytics?
You think that Cleveland came in there and was like, oh yeah, we worried about these analytics.
Cleveland played in the East.
Cleveland beat them.
Yes,
Cleveland beat them. This is what I'm talking about. Cleveland beat them. It wasn't because of analytics. It was because of heart and grit. Kyrie Irving came out there and was like, look, LeBron.
Don't put it on Kyrie. Kyrie did his shit.
Look, LeBron.
LeBron carried them to where they were.
Yeah.
LeBron did his work to keep them in the game. And
Kyrie did the rest.
Put a couple points in.
Kyrie did the rest. Kyrie put the game on his back. A couple of times.
You already up 1, thanks to LeBron. Kyrie hit a shot on a guy that we know don't play defense.
No, he does play defense.
Steph Curry don't play defense.
He tries to play defense. If that was James Harden and Kyrie Irving was doing what he was doing, James Harden wouldn't even be in the picture.
James Harden
James Harden wouldn't even be in the picture.
That's belligerent.
He would have faked like he was getting screamed or something. Probably fell on the ground, flopped. I don't know. That's what James Harden does. But he wouldn't even been in the picture. It wouldn't even been no highlight because James Harden wouldn't even been there. Kyrie would have been shooting a shot wide open if that was James Harden's thing.
Yep.
Steph Curry was there trying to play defense.
Yep.
You can't stop Kyrie Irving. You don't know where he's going with the ball. That dude has the fastest dribbles. You can't stop Kyrie Irving. You can only hope to contain him. And that's what Steph Curry was out there trying to do. And he still got a shot drilled in his face. That's basketball. That's what happens when you have professional athletes that play this game all 82 games out of the season, who practice this game almost every day.
Now, Steph Curry does not play defense. Let's go ahead and stop even making he led the league in steals. He don't lead the league in on-ball steals. He lead the league in passing lane steals.
That's the only way James Harden gets steals.
Not debating that.
Oh, man.
But and last year, Steph Curry led the league in steals. You know who was second?
James Harden.
Trevor Ariza.
Oh yeah.
And you know what Trevor Ariza do? Trevor Ariza sticks the other team's best player. That's what Trevor Ariza does. Trevor Ariza gets on-ball steals. Trevor Ariza gets passing lane steals.
And who don't y'all have right now?
He wanted too much money.
No, he wanted too much money, but giving James Harden $250 million isn't too much money.
All right, well, to tell you the truth, Trevor said he didn't like the way certain superstars were getting treated.
So he didn't like James Harden.
Right, cool, whatever.
He didn't like James Harden because
He
James
didn't like winning.
Harden. No, what? That's cool. You can say winning, but what did y'all win? Did y'all win a championship?
We went as far as we could go.
Exactly.
Who was going to beat Golden State last year? If it wasn't the Houston Rockets, who was going to beat
Y'all
Golden
was
State?
up.
And Chris Paul got hurt.
Okay, I don't want to hear no. Okay, so of course, since Chris Paul got hurt, James Harden's like, that's it.
He still put up 30 and 40.
I don't care.
Can he score 120 by
himself? He could have put up 50. He put up 50 a lot of times. Maybe if he would have tried to play defense, the games would have been different, just a little bit.
No, you
know what I'm saying? You got to do more. When you getting paid that much money, you got to do everything on the floor. They're paying you $250 million not to just play offense. That's not what they said. That's not what they said.
So tell me why Steph Curry don't stick other point guards. Tell me why you never see Steph manned up with Russell Westbrook. You never see him manned up with Damian Lillard or fucking.
They don't play man. They play match zone.
No.
They play match zone. They don't play man.
Shelter Steph Curry.
Yeah, why would you put Steph Curry on the best player when you know he can't stick the best player? He's not the best defender on your team.
He's not a defender on the team.
They don't play man.
He might as well play football because he only played one side of the ball too, along with James Harden.
Okay, as long as you include James Harden.
I'm going to say it. James plays defense on four guard or power forwards.
But guess who gets paid more?
James Harden.
Okay. He doesn't deserve
That's because we don't have no salary tax.
I mean,
no state taxes.
That has nothing to do with nothing to do with it. How much money y'all gave him? That's his contract. They're not adding in how much money he doesn't pay in state tax. They're not adding that in. That's his contract. He gets paid $250 million to play offense. That's it.
And he's
not a locker room leader apparently, because you just said Trevor Ariza basically said that. No.
Look, Trevor played with Kobe.
Yes, he did. So he has a
comparison. Difference between
he has a comparison. He can take Kobe, but he can't take James Harden. Like, you got to be really bad if you can't take Kobe, because Smush Parker would tell you Kobe is an asshole too.
Yeah.
But I think it's only when he feels that the player isn't reaching their potential or they're not trying.
Oh, so
that's how I take that.
You're gonna say that James Harden ain't reaching his potential?
It's not the first time. No, I'm not gonna say. Obviously not. What the hell is he working on the offense? His 3-point shot, he already has that. So what is he working on the offense?
He's scoring.
And
he's playing 98% of his games.
And
James Harden doing everything offensively that he can do. He can't
realize there's this
throw the ball and catch it too.
You realize that there's a whole other half of basketball, which is called defense,
and that's why on defense you put your best defender on the primary scorer, and you stick James Harden on, let's say it's against Golden State, you put him on Draymond, because Draymond is not going to score that many points.
He won't even stick him. He will let him hit him with a baseline, and he won't even care.
Look,
he will already be running up the court. He will already be running up the court before Draymond.
If I'm a top defender, I'm gonna let Draymond shoot the ball, because you know what that means. Make or miss. That's a shot that Steph didn't get.
We're not talking about. I'm not talking
KD.
about shots. I'm talking about let him go make a layup or a dunk. That's what James.
That's still a shot that you're not giving to Steph or Clay or KD. So take a shot away from them. Take 2 shots, 3 shots. That's taking them out of rhythm.
Okay. Do you believe that's what's going through James Harden's mind when he's playing defense?
Look, I think he might be thinking about Khloe Kardashian. I don't know what the hell that boy be thinking about.
The strip club that he usually go to is closed, so he's not thinking about that.
Well, they was playing in Golden State anyway at the time, so.
I don't know what James Harden's thinking. All I'm going to say, and I'm going to go back to it, is that Carmelo wasn't the reason y'all was losing. The reason
I
that
never
y'all were
said
losing,
Carmelo was the reason.
I know, but everybody's trying to use Carmelo as a scapegoat. Yeah, all that
You
stuff
can't use somebody as a scapegoat. What you going to say? Oh, well, Carmelo's the reason we're losing, but then we stopped playing them and now we're still losing.
Yeah.
Carmelo is not the reason we're losing.
Okay.
Carmelo just didn't fit the Houston Rocket mold. That's simply it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what happens when you let your two best defensive players, I'm not going to say two best, but really, really good.
That was our two best.
No, Clint Capella is probably our top defensive player.
Yeah, but he's still there, so we're not
exactly. So I'm talking about two of y'all top defensive players, Mamute and then Trevor Ariza. If y'all would have paid him even
he wasn't
10% of what y'all paid James Harden, it would have been good. He only wanted $15 million, whatever.
Trevor wasn't going to stay anyway. He didn't like the way that the management.
He didn't like James Harden. Period. That's basically.
He played with James Harden for 5 years.
Exactly.
You can't say you don't like nobody.
5 years.
5 years.
Exactly. Maybe he's one of those open-minded people who was like, no, maybe I would like him.
Trevor Ariza
next year,
who from LA. Mm-hmm. You a sucker. That's what you a sucker.
Ooh,
a sucker.
Trevor, who played with who
played with Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant, one
he
of the best players in the league.
And then he got traded to the Rockets. He a sucker. Went back to the Lakers. Then bounced around. Came back to the Rockets. You a sucker.
Trevor Ariza.
You ain't going nowhere with
Trevor
Phoenix.
Ariza's
that's why you 4-20 now.
And that's why y'all are struggling right now, because y'all let that man go. Trevor Ariza was that key.
Trevor Ariza was inconsistent shooting. He was inconsistent defensively. He lost a step since the fact that he turned 31.
How would you consider him inconsistent defense? What's inconsistent? Because the person scores on him, they're professional athletes. They're professional basketball players. They're supposed to be able to score.
Now, when you want to stop somebody, you grind it out. And you do what you got to do to stop somebody. Now, Trevor Ariza, towards the end of the season, he wasn't hurt. Maybe his feelings were, but physically he wasn't hurt. You know what he was doing? He guarding. Oh, you took a step to the left? Well, there you go. Go to Clint. Oh, you took a step to the right? Well, there you go. Go to Clint. He just stopped playing as hard as he was supposed to. I can't say that maybe it's because of his old age or maybe he just didn't want to try hard. Either way, he wasn't playing the same type of defense he should have been. That's why we replaced him. We got a person who's a little bit
younger. Who y'all replace him with?
James Ennis, Tyler Ennis, whatever the hell the dude name is. The dark-skinned dude. Number 6.
You got his stats in there? Because I'm pretty sure.
Hell no, I ain't got his stats. Exactly. His stats ain't relevant to what we talking about.
It is relevant.
We talking about.
You said that's who y'all replaced him with. No. Y'all kept PJ Tucker, who's my dude from UT. He does his thing. He plays defense. He's a tough 6'5" dude, man. One of the toughest ones you'll see. But he needs help. Clint Capella's there. PJ Tucker's there. Y'all need another good defensive player who has actually done something in the league. Clark and that dude Ennis are both.
Clark is a rookie. Don't talk about Clark. Clark a rookie. Clark is who we trying to mold. We trying to mold him into what we want him to be. Okay. And he's doing his job. He's defending. He's shooting his threes at a very high percentage, might I add. Not only that, he catches in a corner, he drives, and if it's not there, he'll kick it out to the open man. He does that. Carmelo knows
I just saw him score 0 points the other day.
That's fine. He can he can score 0 because he's a rookie. Okay. If he was year 6, year 7, he would not score 0 points. He also wouldn't be 3 for 10, 1 for 5 from the 3. He wouldn't be 3 for 10, 1 for 7 from the 3, and he wouldn't be 3 for 8, 1 of 3 from the 3. He probably wouldn't be 8 or 18 and score 24 points. But either way,
probably would be 0 for 10. And then 0 for 8,
he ain't
and
been
then 0 for
everything
because he scores 0 points consistently. Because that's the only thing he does consistently is score 0 points.
We're telling him to play defense. Your shots will come. You're a rookie. You're a rookie in the NBA. You cannot expect to come out here day one and just LeBron the league. You're not going to do that, especially in this offense that we run. This is just not going to happen.
What is this offense that y'all run? The D'Antoni offense? Based off analytics again.
That's basically what our offense is based upon.
Okay.
Yes. But are you going to tell me it didn't work? We went 67-15 last year.
That's cool.
67-15, basically doing what we do right now.
I don't think that comes from analytics. I think that comes from giving James Harden and everybody else the green light to shoot. Yeah,
everybody has the green light.
Yeah, why are we not talking about Gordon?
Eric Gordon? I knew you was going to bring my boy Gordon.
I had to talk about Gordon.
And he's been
total disappointment. He's supposed to be hooping this summer. There was all kinds of reports, man. Eric Gordon's going to be good this summer. He's going to be really good. He hasn't done too much. Where's Eric Gordon at?
Eric Gordon do what he's supposed to do.
Which is what?
He dribble, he drive, he shoot, he passes. He does what you want somebody to come off of the bench to do.
Eric Gordon's supposed to be hitting threes. That's what Eric Gordon does.
The 3-point shot is not a high percentage shot. People are making 35, 32%.
But that's what analytics say. 3-point shot.
Analytics say you win more when you score more. And you score more if you shoot a 3 and they shoot a 2. You're up by 1. You shoot a 3, they shoot a 2. You're up by 2.
Mm-hmm. So
that's what analytics tell you.
Analytics is telling you to shoot more threes.
That's what analytics tell you, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, true shooting percentage is judged the same way. Mm-hmm. That's why Carmelo's at the bottom of the list. Anyway, but go ahead.
Yeah, so back to Carmelo. Carmelo, star player. He goes to be
He was. He ain't been a star player in years. But go ahead with your question.
Carmelo, star player. He goes to a new role on the Thunder of being the third option. He's been a star his whole career, and they expect him to just automatically, I'm not going to say automatically because he played the whole season, but going to that third man role or whatever they had him as at the beginning, and then it changed to him coming off the bench or whatever they wanted him to do. He probably should have took that role because he would have been more familiar with the system or whatever. Carmelo being a star player saying, I'm not coming off the bench, that's absolutely on Carmelo, man. You're 34 years old. Your knees are not what they were when you were 20, 25, whatever, man. It's just not what it is. So he should have conformed to that. I don't think that the Thunder was a good match for him for the simple fact that it wasn't even a good match for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant couldn't even play with Russell Westbrook. So I'm not mad at him for leaving the Thunder.
Let me interject real quick. Mm-hmm. So with the Thunder, Billy Donovan is a terrible coach. Yeah, he's a terrible coach.
I agree.
I can't say that Carmelo didn't perform well on the Thunder because of himself. I have to say it's because of Billy Donovan. Mm-hmm. I remember watching games, playoff games, regular season games. Carmelo, PG, and Russell all started. And they all hit the bench at the exact same time. That's a stupid strategy. You are never going to get any consistency with your team if you do that. Nobody's going to get hot. Because...
No, they left PG in.
No, they set them all at the same time. I watched these games.
Most of the games, they left PG in. They let PG lead the second, and then they'll bring in Carmelo and Westbrook.
Especially not in the playoffs. Especially against Utah. I remember that they started the game because I watch all the playoff games. The regular season I don't care, but the playoffs I watch every game. PG, Russ, and Carmelo all hit the bench at the same time. Why would you do that? Why can't you look around the league and see how teams are running their players? You don't see that in Golden State. You don't see Steph, Clay, and KD hit the bench at the same time. Steph and Clay hit the bench, KD still running. KD come off, Steph come back on, and then you give Clay a little bit more rest because he's defending too, and then you bring him back, and then you slowly bring KD back in. Why would you sit all three of your superstars, because we're counting Carmelo, at the same time? It makes no sense. Now, we're going to fast forward all that nonsense because Carmelo was terrible on OKC. And I got ESPN analysts to back me up. The thing about Carmelo is if he would have just embraced his role of coming off of the bench, he and Eric Gordon could have just tore the league up coming off the bench. There are players who come off the bench, i.e. Lou Williams. Lou Williams scored 22.6 points coming off the bench last year. 22. You telling me Carmelo couldn't do that?
No.
If he would have just maintained, just do what you do, Carmelo. Come in when we need you, Carmelo. Shoot your shots when your shots are there, Carmelo.
Was he coming off the bench for Houston?
He did come off the bench.
Okay.
But he wasn't.
Who else came off the bench?
Eric Gordon.
Okay, so you want Carmelo to go into this role. We're talking about in 10 games. You want Carmelo to come off the bench, but he also has to share the ball with Eric Gordon. Like, Carmelo's only getting 10 shots a game. So you got him coming in with the second string, but he's not that guy on the second string because you also have Eric Gordon that you're sharing the ball with. So Carmelo can't even run the same thing he's been running he's not having the ball the majority of the time.
Our team is not based around Carmelo.
Exactly.
Which is problem number one. Not a problem, but that is issue number one.
Exactly.
Our team is not based around you. We have a system, but we're not changing it to fit you. You came to us. Mm-hmm. You have to change your scheme to play with us. Mm-hmm. If James Harden and Chris Paul both sit on the bench, we have Eric Gordon and nobody else. So we need you, Carmelo, to play within our system, and we will thrive. We should be able to sit these two dominant scorers, and you should be able to come in and score along with Eric Gordon. That's how a bench works. You have to keep your consistency. When a person says, "Oh, I can't come off the bench because it messes with my head," "Oh, I just don't know how to come off the bench because I never can," shut up, pussy. Shut up. Play basketball. You 34. You coming off the bench. Just play basketball. But no. And you talking about he only getting 10 shots a game. You know why he getting 10 shots a game? Because in one game he shoot 3 for 10. The next game he shoot 3 for 10. That's game 1 and 2. Game 3 he shoots 3 for 8. And in game 4, when James Harden is hurt, he comes in and he shoots 9 for 17. Game 5, James Harden is hurt. He shoots 8 for 18. Game 6, James Harden is hurt. He shoots, who was that, Portland? 2 for 12.
Okay.
Where's your consistency, Carmelo?
We
didn't bring you here. In 10 games, what? What you showed me?
Where's the consistency in 10 games?
So you telling me he's not getting his shot? His best game came against Brooklyn when you played in New York. Okay, we in the playoffs. We playing in Golden State. We playing in California. We playing in Oakland. That's not Brooklyn. You can't shoot 2 for 12 against Golden State. That's not going to help us win. But you shooting 9 of 12, 6 of 9 for the 3 against Brooklyn. It's Brooklyn. Brooklyn is terrible. You showed out against a terrible team. What you gonna do against a good team? Well, I'll tell you, when you played against Portland, you went 2 for 12. When you went against the Clippers, yeah, you went 8 of 18 that time. But the first time, because we played Clippers, Portland Clippers again. The first time we played the Clippers, you went 3 of 8. I don't see any consistency in your scoring.
You're trying to say consistency over a 10-game span.
You're trying to use usage as his backbone. We can't use you if you're not scoring, Carmelo.
Who on your team besides Chris Paul and James Harden is scoring consistently? You're gonna say Clint Capella. Clint Capella gets all his buckets off of.
He plays where he's supposed to play.
Yes, alley-oops. That's where James Harden gets 75% of his assists also, but we're not gonna talk about that. Anyways, those are the people that you're relying on to score every game. Why is Carmelo Anthony not in the game with Chris Paul? Chris Paul is the leader of that team. Whether you think James Harden is or not, Chris Paul is the leader of that team. He gets everyone else involved in the game. James Harden gets Clint Capella involved in the game. When Chris Paul is in that game, he gets everybody the ball. Why is Carmelo Anthony not in the game with Chris Paul? Chris Paul is the main reason why he went to Houston, but you're gonna say, "Oh no, we're gonna take James Harden and Chris Paul out. We're gonna leave you with Eric Gordon." Who is that?
That's the way.
Anyways,
in a perfect world, that's how it would have been.
That's how it should have been.
But
you want Carmelo to score
Paul
points?
is 31 years old. He can't play the same minutes as a 28 or 29.
Yes, Chris Paul's like 33.
Whatever.
Okay.
He can't play the same minutes that a 29-year-old James Harden can play.
Okay.
That time of his life is over. So you got to be ready to play with Chris Paul when Chris Paul is in. You got to be ready to play with James Harden more minutes than you're going to play
I will
with
agree.
Chris Paul.
You have to adapt. Absolutely.
But what did Carmelo do?
He wasn't given that time to adapt in 10 games, and they tried to use Carmelo as the I'm not going to even say it was Houston, but it was also the media. I can't stand main media.
What?
Houston, I can't stand main media. I don't watch main media because they will hype LeBron all day. Steph Curry just scored. If Steph Curry scores 90 points, we're going to hear about it. But LeBron James scores 40. We're probably going to hear more about LeBron James than we will Steph Curry. I don't know why, but the media loves LeBron James. I understand why. He is a great player.
He the man.
Debatable, but we'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, this analytics stuff, this is what's killing the NBA. This is why I don't have NBA League Pass right now. That and the Warriors. The Warriors are the Warriors are the best team ever assembled. I don't want to watch basketball because I already know the end result. The Warriors are going to win again until Kevin Durant leaves that team. When Kevin Durant leaves that team, the NBA should go back to normal. Yeah, you're still going to have dummies like D'Antoni thinking about analytics, but like I said, analytics is not what wins you
championships. Is what got Golden State to where they are right now.
Analytics is not what wins you championships. What
Golden State has 3 of them based on analytics.
No, they have
about?
1 of them based on analytics. The other 2 is because they got the best player in the NBA on the team that already broke the record for the most wins in a season. That's why they won the last 2 NBA championships. What are you talking about? Anyway, analytics is terrible for the NBA. Let me tell you why. You cannot evaluate how much a player is practicing when you're not doing your numbers or whatever. So let's say James Harden's not in a strip club and he's actually in the gym at 12 o'clock. There's nobody counting how many shots he's shooting, how much he's working on his game, what he's working on there. You cannot count that. You cannot count a person's heart. You cannot count how much a person wants to hit that game-winning shot. Like, you cannot count stuff like that. And I'm about to hit y'all with a gym right now because I was talking about this with my wife the other day. There's a lot of things that you cannot gauge and you cannot use numbers to find out. One is pain. You do not know a person's pain tolerance. You cannot gauge a person's pain tolerance unless you do a test on them or something. And you will have to do it for their lifespan. I just got a tattoo the other day and that shit hurt. I'm gonna tell y'all just like that, that shit hurt. It hurt so bad that I told my tattoo artist, I was like, yo, it literally feels like you have a scalpel and you're cutting my arm right now. That's how I described it to him. Now, my wife got a tattoo and during the tattoo, I was like, are you okay? She was like, I'm fine. And it's like tickles a little bit. I'm like, what the hell? All the tattoos I got, this is her first tattoo. She's gonna tell me that it tickles on her spine. Anyways, pain tolerance. You can't gauge that. And then here's the big one. You cannot gauge a person's level of depression. All right? I want to talk about depression because we were talking about it yesterday. All right? If I tell you I've hit rock bottom before, you've hit rock bottom before. And then the reason that we're on the topic is because we had a friend who tried to commit suicide. She wasn't successful, thank God, but she tried to commit suicide. Now, to everybody out there who's hit rock bottom before and they're still surviving, they're gonna feel me when I say this. When I say that once you hit rock bottom, you feel like everything is crashing in on you and like all the bad things that you have, they're coming back at you and you could have did a lot of bad shit. And it's all coming at you at one time. And you feel like the world is better without you. Now, once you start thinking about stuff like that, you start thinking about suicide, all right? That's when you know you hit rock bottom, suicidal thoughts. Now, the people that's still here, I can tell you this stuff because y'all still here. The people who are not there, that depression tolerance is what I'm talking about. You were able to handle those instances, but they weren't. All right, I've been there before. I'm describing it to you, man. You feel like everything is hitting you at once. You can't breathe. You're suffocating, and you think that the easy way out at that time would be to just end it all. But what happened in my case is you think about it. Yo, if I do this, then I thought about my mom. All my mom's teachings, her nursing me back to good health when I was sick, all of that stuff would have been for nothing. And they say, you know what I mean, the saying is, mama ain't raised no fool, but she also didn't raise you to commit suicide. If you committed suicide, all that stuff that she taught you would have been for nothing. And that's what I thought about before. Like I said, I've been there before. That's what I thought about before I even attempted. I knew exactly how I was gonna do it. I was just gonna go in front of a semi, and that would have been it. I even went outside and I thought about that. Everything that my mom taught me would have been for nothing. Just like in Avengers, when you saw all those people go to dust, that's how I thought about my memories. All those memories I had with everybody in life, I would have just been in dust in all those memories. I would have been gone. All those lessons my mom, my aunts, my dad, they taught me, I would have been in dust in those memories. It would have all been for nothing. And none of those people raised me to the person I am now for that. That's why I didn't. So going back to basketball, getting past that depression part, you can't gauge depression, you can't gauge pain, you can't gauge a person's heart. Analytics is trash. You can't gauge everything. You can't use numbers to gauge all this stuff. Analytics, get rid of it. Go back to basketball, the love of the sport. That's what wins you championship. That's what won San Antonio the championship. This analytic stuff is not what wins you. Maybe for the Warriors, they shot all those threes, but they were hitting those threes. They have the players to hit those threes. So you're going to say it's analytics because you got Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and all these other people have been shooting threes their whole life? No, they're good at threes and they have a good team. They play team basketball. It's not all about Steph Curry, even if Steph Curry could probably score every time he gets the ball. It's not about that. They throw it to the open person. The open person scores more than likely when they're open. That's how you play basketball. Get the open shot, get the high percentage shot, make the high percentage shot, play defense. That's my take on that.
Now, man, I'm glad you brought up all of that about depression. And suicide. It's a very good topic to note. However, Kama, you took that way left. I didn't think you was gonna mention none of that.
I didn't.
I thought you was gonna say hard work and heart.
All about analytics, stuff you can't gauge.
Now, as far as analytics will tell you that if you shoot this 3-pointer and you play a little bit more defense than usual, you'll play well. You'll more than likely win, which is what we did last year. Now, the things analytics, basketball-wise, will tell you is that the people who have the heart for it. Now, this is the one thing I can say about the real King James himself, MVP, is I don't know if he has the heart. And I wish I could talk to him face to face and tell him he don't have the heart, the mentality to be a champion. And that's what I think is holding him back. Once he gets it in his mind that, okay, I want to be a champion versus I want to be MVP, I want to lead the league in scoring, I want to be this, I want to be... None of that stuff matter after your career is over and you don't have no rings. Mm-hmm. None of that matter.
I feel like James Harden already won his championship with getting the MVP.
Well, I mean, I feel like Carmelo feels the same way. Because he never strived. I mean, that one year when he made it to the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers, maybe that could have been his opportunity. But after that, I feel like he just didn't have it anymore. There was no will to want to win a championship from James Harden or Carmelo at that time. And I'm not even like talking shit about either one of them, about how they play or whatever. Just, I don't feel like in their heart they want to win. Put me in the NBA. Make me a foot taller. Make me 6'9". I want to win a championship. I don't care about the money. I don't care about MVPs and scoring. I want to win. I want to show everybody that I'm better than you, my team better than yours, and we the champion. That's what I would feel. All these other guys, once they get their $250 million or 70 million, 80 million, whatever they were, I feel like that's just when they feel like, all right, I made it. I got my mama out the hood. You know, I got these nice cars. I got these nice houses, whatever. I feel like that's what success is to them, not realizing that there is success in the business and then there is personal success. You work for somebody. Mm-hmm. The NBA is a business. It's a business, and every business wants to be company of the year. And whoever wins that championship is the company of the year. You can be the employee of the year, you can be the executive of the year with the MVP and coach of the year, but are you that organization of the year, the one that actually won that championship? That's what will fuel me. I hate losing. I don't care about nothing else in sports except winning. And if I'm not holding that trophy, everything that we did this season was for naught, because we didn't win. There was somebody better than us. Somebody beat us. Somebody eliminated us from the playoffs. And I don't feel like that's in too many of these players nowadays in the NBA. I can say like Anthony Davis might have it. Russell Westbrook might have it. They might have that will to win. But Kevin Durant, no, he don't have it. He don't have it. He on the coattail. LeBron got it. But LeBron from a different generation. He from a different era. He wants to win, and you can tell by how he plays. James Harden, I don't feel like he has that. Although,
I disagree with almost
hold on, let me make my last point.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't feel like James Harden has that will to win, although every time he lost, it was to Golden State, who eventually made the finals or won the finals, because they did lose that one year. But go ahead.
All right, I disagree with almost every single player that you said that you think has the heart to win the championship.
I only said two who don't. Carmelo.
No,
trash ass.
You said LeBron James.
I say he does.
LeBron James does not
have the heart to win.
If he did,
you can't carry somebody all through their whole life to the finals and say, "Oh, he don't have the heart to win." No.
How many finals has he lost?
A lot.
Okay, so how do you say he has the heart to win? No, he does not. He has the team to win, and he makes sure that his team is put together. Every single team he goes to, like, I don't even want to talk about. I don't want to wish this bad on the Lakers, but I'm pretty sure the Lakers are gonna get blown up, and it's because of LeBron James. If it doesn't, it's because of Kobe. It's because, hey, let me say my part. I'll let you say your part. It's because Kobe and Magic Johnson telling LeBron, like, no, you need to do more. You need to get these players involved, just like they had to do. All right? No, I ain't gonna say Magic. Magic had a squad, but Kobe had to do it with Paul Gasol and the rest of the players. All right?
He still had a squad though.
He had
2 7-footers in the paint, and he had shooters, and he had defenders. Kobe had everything he needed.
Andrew Bynum, that's who you talking about?
Yes.
Kobe.
Paul Gasol. Yes. Kobe had everything when he didn't have everything he needed, what happened? He lost in the playoff. Didn't make the playoff. Remember they was up 3-1 on the Phoenix Suns and lost 4-3 first round? I remember that. LA was heartbroken.
Don't ever compare Kobe to LeBron.
I didn't.
Because look at
Kobe lost 3-1.
Look at the finals appearance and look at the win percentage. There's no comparison.
Okay, Kobe 5-7.
Anyways.
But did Kobe have to face Golden State? No. Did Kobe play any team built the way Golden State was built? No. Boston was very good. Detroit was very good. But they could not hold a candle to that Golden State team that LeBron had to face.
But LeBron lost them all. The ones you just mentioned.
He didn't lose to the Lakers. He didn't lose to Detroit. He lost to Detroit one time, but then he beat them the next time, and then he lost to Orlando. Not even going to mention that. You know what? I take that back.
Oh,
but Orlando did have a whole bunch of shooters and defenders. They had a bunch of three.
Stop it, man!
They had a bunch of three.
It's the will to win, and LeBron. I love LeBron as a person, but as a basketball player,
how can he not have
so much help? He needs so much help to win. So much help. LeBron, nobody can jump in your body and shoot those last second shots for you. You have to shoot them. You can't pass it to Chris Bosh for a 3 when you wide open for a 3. That's the stuff that LeBron is a great player, and I don't want to take anything away from him being a great player, but as far as a championship player, that championship mentality, that Mamba mentality, he does not have it.
When did Kobe do it on his own?
God, hey, I don't know.
Tell me when Kobe did it on his own.
He never did it on his own.
Tell me when Jordan did it on his own.
Nobody said any of those did it.
Or Wilt.
Anyway.
Or Steph.
They had that killer mentality that if the game is on the line, they got the ball in their hand. That's not the same for Kobe. But anyways, back to the subject at hand. Carmelo Anthony is not done with the NBA. If he was done with the NBA, he would have retired already. He already has the money. He already has everything. He wants a championship. Whether you think he wants one or not, that's the only reason he's still playing. He can call it quits right now and be happy he'll be a first ballot or Hall of Famer.
Well,
he's a Hall of Famer. He can call it quits right now. Carmelo wants a championship. Carmelo needs to go to a team that's going to win him a championship.
Oh, Golden State?
He needs to go to San Antonio. San Antonio and Greg Popovich is the only coach I can say in the league is going to tell Carmelo, dog, you're old. Your knees are worn. You are not the same Carmelo you were on the Denver Nuggets or when you first went to the Knicks. Know your role. Shut your mouth. We going to win a championship. We going to bring the best out of you that we can. But I need you to know your role. Your role is not a star player anymore. Your role is a role player.
There is only one team that Carmelo can go to that's going to guarantee him a championship.
That's
the Spurs is not it.
Golden State.
Exactly.
Anybody could say Golden State. I can tell.
Why do you think DeMarcus
I can say Lonzo Ball can go to Golden State right now. He'll win a championship. Duh.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything. Golden State is a cheat code.
Is not
We're not talking about Golden State.
Anybody get a championship.
Not this year.
He won't even help Golden State.
Not this year.
He won't help Golden State because Golden State is going to move on the way they've been moving on. He can go to the Spurs right now.
He will help anybody.
He will not help Golden State. Meaning he will not make a difference with the team that they have now. That's what I mean by he won't help them. He tried to come to Houston and help.
Golden State is gonna win the championship this year.
Regardless. Carmelo is not going to help them win. He's just going to be another guy on the roster.
Yes, he is.
What is he going to do?
Just like the rest of those guys on the bench who you don't even know their name. I would say McCall, but he's not even on the team.
They don't help. They're just there.
They need a roster spot. Yes,
they're just there.
You don't need anything else for Golden State. They already have everything that they need. So we're gonna just skip past this year. After this year, when KD leaves,
where's Carmelo gonna go?
Carmelo needs to go to San Antonio now, so he fills that role.
There's
Greg Popovich will get Carmelo in that role that he's now at, which is a role player. He's a role player now, but Carmelo is not done. He's still better than 75% of the people in the NBA. Still better than 75% of the people in the NBA today at 34.
There is one team Carmelo can go to that he can actually help win more games than what they've won right now. Phoenix.
He's trying to win a championship. Always go there.
Carmelo's not going to win a championship if he's not on the Golden State roster. If he's on any of the 30 other teams in the NBA, he's not going to. Philly, Boston, nobody needs Carmelo to win. That's already a contender. None of the teams. They are going to play how they're going to play regardless.
And they're going to lose to Golden State regardless.
Everybody's going to lose to Golden State.
Okay, so
nobody's going to beat Golden State. They already won. Chalk it up. 2018-19 championship belongs to Golden State. Unless
that's why I don't
somebody
have NBA League passing out.
Those light-skinned guys.
Yep. That's pretty much all I have.
Kevin Durant's
my take on it is Carmelo Anthony is not done yet. Carmelo Anthony wants a championship. That's the only reason he's still trying to play in the NBA.
Carmelo don't want no championship.
Send him to San Antonio. Let Greg Popovich do his thing next year, because it's not going to be this year. Kevin Durant's still on the Warriors. The Spurs will be in the finals.
No, they won't. No, they won't. No, they won't. First off, let's go back to the
that's another video.
Hold up. Let's go back to the Spurs thing.
Another video.
Let's go back to the Spurs thing.
Another video, dog.
In OKC, Carmelo was the third guy.
I gotta get you.
Wait. In Houston, Carmelo could have been the third or fourth guy. If he goes to the Spurs, he's not going to be number one. He's not going to be number two. He's going to have to be that third guy.
Yes, I already said this. Greg Popovich is going to tell him what his role is. His role is whatever Popovich wants. Yes, Greg Popovich is the best coach in the league, and everybody respects him. Carmelo is not going to tell Greg Popovich. If Greg Popovich tells him you're coming off the bench, Carmelo's not going to tell him, no, I'm not coming off the bench. He's going to say, yo, Greg, please put me in the best position so I can win a championship. That's why I'm still in the league. Everybody, besides Kawhi Leonard, respects Greg Popovich. I don't know. I mean, even Kawhi had a talk with him before he left. Everybody respects Greg. Greg is the best coach in the NBA. Greg said, fuck analytics. I had to say that. PG-13, I get at least 2 of them. But anyways, Greg said, forget analytics. It's about basketball. That's why I respect Greg Popovich. That's why I think Greg Popovich can bring whatever Carmelo has left in his tank, Greg will bring him out of it.
That boy
bring it out of him.
His gaslight is on.
Carmelo, go to San Antonio. Do your thing. Win your championship. That's all you have left to prove to everybody. You are first ballot Hall of Fame already.